Yukon Striker is a B&M dive coaster located in Canada's Wonderland. This coaster is actually the first and only dive coaster that I've been on. The only other park that I've been to that has one, as of this recording, has not finished its construction, which is Iron Menace. It looks like a lot of fun, but it was known about but not confirmed at the time that I was at Dorney Park. I heard a lot of mixed things about Yukon Striker before riding it, but mostly people saying it was just okay or not being a fan of the ride. Even so much as of saying that Oblivion is better, which I've never been on Oblivion, but like that's just one drop, then done. So Yukon should be like objectively better. But Yukon surprised me in some ways. This coaster is the second fastest in the park, and at the time, it was the tallest and fastest ride that I've ever done. This coaster has a height of 223 feet, but drops into a tunnel, making the drop 245 feet tall, and the ride goes 80 miles per hour. And since this coaster is over 200 feet tall, I consider this to be a hyper coaster despite it being a dive coaster. To start off with the cons, I gotta mention 3 to 4. That turnout at the station that heads into the lift hill has a nasty jolt to it, like right at the end. It felt uncomfortable and I just didn't like it, and nobody talks about it for some reason. The second con had to do with the lift itself. That was probably the loudest lift hill that I've ever been on, and as someone with ASD, this sound really hurt my ears, and I had to plug my ears throughout the entire lift hill. The next con actually didn't bother me at all, but I'll note why it's a con. I thought the vest restraints were just fine despite being very tight, but I heard they restrict the airtime, and as an airtime junkie, that's enough to be a con for me. And the last con is a nitpick. It's gonna sound weird, but I'll explain. On the final helix before the brake run, when I was cheering and like yelling, I could hear my voice vibrate. Like nothing else vibrated, and like there's nothing else shaky, but it was just that. And that may sound like a weird con, but this makes me worried that the final helix may become rough. I only had one ride on this coaster, so I'll be judging the ride based off that one. But I sat towards the very right in the very back, only second to the right. This was because my younger brother was the most excited for the roller coaster, so I wanted to give him the very edge instead. Sitting on the holding brake in the very back was pretty awkward. It's almost like you were just sitting there, and like you did get good view, but like the train obstructed the drop. But it did not ruin the experience. The next second, you were immediately hauled downwards. And this coaster's drop experience shocked me. I was told that Yukon has no airtime due to its restrictive restraints, and that could not be further from the truth. It had the perfect blend of floater airtime and an amazing free fall sensation right into the tunnel. Clearances on that tunnel was wild. I had to duck while going through it, and then it whipped you into an element. This element was fun, but due to the restraints, the hang time was minimal. And being on the edge made this element feel even more fun, just how the train just threw you around the track. Then you head into a zero-G winder. This element was nice and floaty. It was fun, but that was about it. And then Yukon kicks up the intensity with the loop. You flew right through it, and it was a pretty intense moment. The valley after the loop felt very fast and intense due to the trench. Then you quickly went into a reverse dive loop into the mid-course brake run, and my reaction to going to a stop at the brake run was, oh, so the ride's basically done. Then right after, we head into the second drop. The airtime on it was insane. Well, I was expecting to have none at all, and the rest of the coaster to be filler, but the airtime shocked me so much. This is the face that I made on the drop. And no, I did not plan it. This is just how pleasantly surprised I was by it. After that, we traversed an airtime hill, and it had some fun airtime into a weird helix that was just kind of there. I love this helix, and this element like does nothing for me, but the reason why I like it so much is just the view it provides, both on-ride and off-ride. But off-ride is just, it's so iconic. Then we headed into the brake run, and I was laughing hysterically. I would not call Yukon Striker underrated, but I would 100% call this coaster underappreciated. This was my 30 credit, and in my opinion, it does 30 justice, even if it's not the highest compared to some enthusiasts. I rank this coaster as a 9 out of 10. It is a pure fun dive machine, and I'm happy to see so many dive coasters be built. It may not be my favorite model, but this coaster is a great one that I'm glad that I got a ride on. And I feel very lucky to have a roller coaster like this in Canada. Thanks for watching the whole video. I put a lot of work into these videos, so it means a lot to me that you watched the whole thing. If you enjoyed the video, it would mean a lot to me if you were to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.